Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing really very well. In our today's session, my dear student, we are going to see about chapter number 4. Okay, and the chapter number 4 is divided into parts, and today we are going to start with part number 2. Okay, previously we have discussed about what is the meaning of history and what are the sources of history. Okay, so history means study about our past, and history is divided into two parts: prehistory and proto-history. Okay, and apart from them, we also have seen how many sources have a history have. Okay, so previously we have discussed about sources which define prehistory. Now we are going to see about proto-history. Proto-history means written documents. Okay, so we all discussed all these topics like dates in history. Okay, now we are going to start with relation between geography and history. My dear students, I hope you all know there is a relationship between geography and history. Okay, geography is greatly influenced with history, and history is greatly influenced by geography. So they are interrelated. Okay, so geography of India has had an important role in shaping its history. So geography of India always play a very crucial role in shaping history. Okay, now but before we further study about it, let's have a look what are the geographical divisions in which our India is divided. Okay, so my dear student, this is the physical map of our country India. Okay, here you can see this is the physical map of our country India. If you just have a look, okay, so you can see our physiographic divisions of India is in many parts. Okay, some parts are covered with mountains, deserts, then our coastal areas and plain areas and plateau areas. Okay, see, in our country India, we have a high mountains in the northern area. Okay, and what work these mountains do? They Himalayan mountains. Okay, Himalayan mountains protect our country from foreign invaders and as well as the cold breezes which come through the European countries. Okay, now we have a long coastline of peninsular India linked India with rest of the other world. Okay, and the northern plain, okay, the land area of northern plain is very fertile land and which is suitable for agriculture. Okay, that's why the northern plain of our country India is also known as bread basket of India. Okay, so on the other hand side, the Deccan Plateau. Okay, Deccan Plateau is famous for its mineral deposits. Okay, now see, you will discover in science that the earth has a very long history of which we humans occupy only a tiny part, the most recent one. Okay, so my dear students, when you studied your science, you all know that our earth is very old. Okay, and our earth have seen many living creatures in different periods. Okay, it means we human beings, okay, belongs to the recent period of our earth. Okay, now, here you can see the earth is divided into billion years ago, million years ago, and years ago. Okay, so here you can see the timeline of a few important stages in the evolution of life in our planet Earth. Okay, so go thoroughly through this picture and try to understand. Okay, this is very important. Okay, now many people study the history of the earth. Some of them are trained to uncover the secrets left beneath the earth's surface and help us learn about its past and also our past. Okay, most of the people used to study about the history of the earth. Okay, and why they want to study the history of our earth? Because they want to discover about the secrets which our earth covers. Okay, so here you can see, my dear student, observe these four pictures and the activities involved from top left. Okay, so here you can see, my dear student, four pictures. Okay, have a look on these four pictures and you have to recognize what kind of work they do. Okay, so in 4.2.1 here, geologist. Okay, now what is the meaning of, my dear student, geologist? Okay, what is the meaning of geologist? Who are the person called as geologist? See, geologists are those person who study about the physical features of our earth. Okay, okay, so the person who studied about the physical features of our earth are called as geologists. Okay, so what kind of study this geologists do? They study about the soil which is present in our earth. They study about the stones, hills, mountain, rivers, seas, oceans. Okay, so the person who study about the only physical features of the earth known as geologist. Okay, now Paleontologist. What is the meaning of paleontologist? Okay, so paleontologist means what? See, paleontologists are a group of people who used to study the remains of the plant, animals, and humans from millions of years ago in a form of fossils. See, geologists are those person who studied only about the physical features of our planet Earth. Paleontologists are the person who used to study about the remaining fossils. Okay, remaining fossils which is remained on our planet Earth for millions of years ago, like plants, animals, and as well as a human skeleton also. Okay, now anthropologist. Okay, what is the meaning of anthropologist? Let's have a look. See, anthropologists are those group of people who study human societies, okay, and culture. Okay, anthropologists are those group of person who study about human societies and cultures, okay, from older times to present time. Okay, archaeologists. Now, who are archaeologists? Okay, who are archaeologists? See, archaeologists are those group of person who study about our past. Okay, who study about our past by digging up remains. Okay, the digging up the remains which is present on our planet Earth in the form of plants, animals, and human beings. Okay, for example, in plants, in human civilization, we can took the example of remains of tools, pots, beads, figurines, toys, etc. and etc. Okay, so here you can see there are the four categories of people who used to study about our planet Earth. Geologists are those group of people who only study about physical features. Okay, paleontologists who study about remnants of fossils. Okay, anthropologists, they study about human society and culture. Okay, and archaeologists are those people who dig up our past. Okay, now, my dear student, how time is measured in history? Okay, in our previous part, we have discussed about Anno Domini before Christ. Okay, but how? See, here question comes: how time is measured? Okay, we know that is Anno Domini and before Christ, BCE, but how these times are measured? Here we are going to see. See, time in history is measured using different types of systems. Okay, like over different periods. Okay, means the events and the changes come throughout the period of the history. Okay, historians commonly divide time into significant eras. Okay, okay, so the person who study history called historians. These historians divided our planet Earth into different time eras. Prehistoric. Okay, prehistoric, ancient, medieval, and modern period. Okay, means historians divided history of the world into four parts: prehistory, ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay, so each these era reflect important developments like civilizations rise. Okay, when civilizations rose, industrialization automatically started. Okay, and due to industrialization, it provided structure to the vast timeline throughout the human history. Okay, see, the first calendar. Okay, so the first calendar which we considered as the Gregorian calendar. Okay, what is the meaning of Gregorian calendar? See, Gregorian calendar introduced in 1582. Okay, see, the calendars which we used to use today. Okay, named as Gregorian calendar. Okay, this Gregorian calendar is introduced in 1582. Okay, prehistory. Okay, because carbon dating and stratigraphy give the exact timeline. Okay, means for example, dinosaurs. Okay, we all found the fossils of dinosaurs. So the fossils of dinosaurs belongs to not this era, it belongs to millions of years ago. We can easily find out that in which era this fossil means from which era this fossil came. Okay, now here you can see the timeline of some main events is 3 lakh BCE. Okay, so here you can see the first example of rock art in our world, 40,000 BCE. Okay, Ice Age, and now 3 lakh BCE. Okay, now century. What is the meaning of century, my dear student? Century means century means 100 years. Okay, when any year completed, means when any period completed 100 of year, it is known as century. Now millennium. What is the meaning of millennium? Millennium means a period of 10,000 years. Okay, sorry, not the 10,000, 1,000 years. Millennium means period of 1,000 years. See, century means 100 years, millennium means 1,000 years. Okay, now Here you can see this is the division of our timeline. Okay, now here you can see on page number 78, 79 and 80. Okay, see, it is a useful tool for marking significant events. See, without time we can't study history. Remember, if you want to get an important knowledge about history, then you must know about the timeline. See, timeline is the most useful sources to know about our historical period. Okay, see why we need to know more and more about timeline, because it illustrates a sequence of dates and events over a specific time period. Okay, timeline starts from the beginning of humanity and extends to the present, highlighting a few key landmarks. Okay, now we also need timeline to get a proper understanding of sequence of historical events. For example, I'm giving you, if I talk about birth of Jesus Christ and the rise of Islam, and then if I talk about the birth of Lord Buddha and Lord Mahavir. See, I'm talking about the birth of famous personalities. But birth means time. Okay, time. So how do we know that at this date or at this era this particular personality born? Through this timeline. Okay, so that's why if you want to know much more about our history, you must have knowledge about timeline. Okay, here you can see the birth of Buddha. Okay, and see, birth of Buddha, then birth of Jesus Christ, then we modern human beings, and future we don't know, but we can only analyze our future. Okay, now see what are the sources of our history. Okay, so this is for you, my dear student. Okay, just have a look on your family and try to gather more and more information about the about your family history. Okay, like see, here is an activities given for you. Relation. Okay, name. First of all, relation means you have to write about your grandparent. Grandparent means the parent of your father. Okay, here I'm not talking about the parent of your mother. Okay, I'm talking about the parent of your father. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to write the name of your grandparent. Okay, what occupation in which he was associated. Okay, and at what place your grandparent birth. Okay, and what is the source of your information. Okay, so throughout the, so just like this, your grandparent, you also have to gather information about your grandparents. Okay, means the parent of your mother. Okay, and great grandparents, and as well as your great grandparents from the side of your mummy and papa both. Okay, so you all have to gather information. Okay, and why you have to do this activity? Because if you will do this activity, then you can know the importance of timeline. Okay, now see, when you look at the figure at the next page, it combines the key sources of history. You don't need to memorize all of them right now. You we will explore some as we progress. Okay, when historians examine, for example, see here, historians and study about our history, they take an example. Okay, and what kind of example they took? Have a look here. A king or queen for 1500 years ago, an ancient monument, a battle, or various trade items. See, historians take examples just like a king, about their kingdom, how many, the era means the era, throughout the era in which he or she ruled. Okay, and what type of monuments they built. Okay, so this all are the information through which a historian can gather information. Okay, see, at times, the sources confirm one another, other times, sources may be offer conflicting information. But you know what? History is always remain conflicted. Okay, it always give birth conflicts, because some historians see, I'm taking an example, the birth of particular king. Okay, according to some historians, he birthed in 600 BC. Okay, 600 BC, but according to some historians, no, that was not the exact date. So here you can see the conflict of the rise of conflict situation between two historians. Okay, so timeline always create conflicts between them. Okay, now history is reconstructed with the help of various contributors. Okay, historians play a central role, but they are supported by archaeologists who excavate and study ancient artifacts, providing insights into how past societies used to live. Okay, epigraphics. Now, what is the meaning of epigraphics? Who are epigraphics? See, epigraphics focus on ancient inscriptions, means the group of person who used to study about ancient inscriptions, they are known as epigraphics. Okay. See, history is always full of various contributors. Okay. Here, historians play important role. Okay. And archaeologists help historians to gather information from a particular place. So through the so here you can see, for know about the measurement of time, historians get help from archaeologists. Okay, here epigraphics also help them. Okay, epigraphics study about inscriptions. Okay, and when they study about inscription, they tell them, okay, so it means this particular inscription belong to this era. Okay, so through this we can get to know about timeline. Okay, now experts in language and literature analyze. Okay, on the other hand, the person who are specialized in language and literature, okay, they used to analyze our ancient text which is written in our native language or maybe in any language. Okay, they offer valuable perspective on the belief and values of historical civilization. Okay, now paleoclimatology. What is the meaning of paleoclimatology? Here you can see, paleoclimatology, the study of ancient climates, help historians understand how environmental changes affected civilization. You are in class 6, my dear students. I hope you all know about the ancient civilizations of our world. Okay, like Egyptian, okay, our Indus Valley civilization, okay, Mesopotamia, Chinese, okay. So how we can know about this civilization? Through the timeline. But you know what, all these civilizations are vanished. And why they are vanished? So the study, okay, actually it is a major thought. Okay, it is a major thinking that due to the significant climate changes, okay, this civilizations extinct. Okay, people are forced to leave their places due to the climatic changes. Okay, so paleoclimatology means, paleoclimatology is a branch of history who used to study about the significant climatic changes, who forced civilizations to vanish, or who forced people to leave their place. Okay, chemical analysis of artifacts. Okay, so the available artifacts through the process of chemical analysis, like pottery, metal means what kind of metals are used in making these utensils. Okay, through this we can also gather information about our past. Okay, now all this thing, we also have some technological advancement through which we can get to know that in which era this particular thing belongs. Okay, like our historical research, technological advancement make our historical research smooth. Okay, radiocarbon dating. Okay, radiocarbon dating helps determine the age of organic material, while digital mapping and imaging techniques provide detailed reconstruction of ancient sites. Few minutes ago I told you that civilizations are vanished, but you know what, we can see the remnants of civilizations are present in all over the world. Okay, so how we can study about those remnants? Through the help of technological advancement. Okay, with the help of this technological development, those ancient sites are reconstructed. Okay, means those ancient sites which are vanished, we can now reconstruct them. Okay, and with the help of radiocarbon dating, we can gather more and more information about them. Okay, so for more recent history, newspapers, diaries, and official records serve as valuable resources. So if you want to know about the modern history of our country India, or as well as world, we have journals, we have diaries, we have official records. Okay, they all give us the information of modern history. Okay, now see, in modern era, electronic media like our television, internet, and social media also give us the information of history. So here you can see all are the sources of history. Okay, here you can see sources of history throughout the time. Okay, now how our human history started. Okay, so here we are going to see our human history is divided into many ages, like our stone age. Okay, so what is the meaning of a stone age? See, we all know that stone age means the era totally dedicated to stone. Okay, and it is a common measurement that life on earth started how many years ago? It started approximately 4.5 billion years ago. Okay, And you all know, my dear student, the first life, it is assumed that started in marine. Okay, see, in the beginning, man was very much like ancestor the apes. Okay, so our early men's just like apes. Okay, many physical changes. Okay, in our human body, many physical changes took place. Okay, slowly they used to learn. Slowly they used to learn. Then how can they adopt this prevailing environment? Okay, and Stone Age. Why we called Stone Age? Because in this era, when early men are slowly learning about to using the tools, using the materials, they started making tools from stone. Okay, so the first weapon they made, the metal is used as stone. Okay, that's why we call this age as Stone Age. Okay, and the another name of a Stone Age is prehistoric age. Okay, see, Stone Age is divided into three ages. Okay, Paleolithic age or Old Stone Age, Mesolithic age or Middle Stone Age, and Neolithic age or New Stone Age. Now, Paleolithic age means what? Let's have a look here. The word paleo, okay, the word paleo is derived from our Greek word paleo and lithos. See, Paleolithic is divided into two parts, paleo and lithos. It means old. Paleo means old and lithos means stone. Okay, so that's why Paleolithic age is known as Old Stone Age. Okay, and the duration of Old Stone Age is our 5000 BCE to 10,000 BCE. Okay, again, Paleolithic period is divided into three parts: early and lower Paleolithic, okay, middle Paleolithic, and later and upper Paleolithic. My dear student, don't get confused. Okay, see, our human history is divided into many ages. So the first age is our Stone Age. Stone Age is divided into three parts: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Okay, so Paleolithic is again divided into three parts: early Paleolithic age, middle, and lower. Okay, now the sites at which we discovered about this our Stone Age. Okay, so here you can see, my dear student, the remnants of our Paleolithic age we can find on the valley of river Son in Punjab. Okay, so this area is right now in Pakistan, not in our country India. Okay, Balan Valley of Uttar Pradesh, Bori in Maharashtra, Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh, and Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. So in these areas we can find the remnants of our Paleolithic age. Okay, now, early man as hunter gatherer. You all know, my dear student, what type of job our early men used to do. They are hunter and they are gatherers. Okay. See, in Paleolithic age, people, early men are usually nomads. Means they continuously changes their places. Why? In search of food. Okay. See, uh, thus man was a hunter and food gatherers. Okay, his food includes, now what kind of food the early man used to eat? Here you can see they used to eat wild plants, foods, sweet roots, berries, and raw meat. Means in Stone Age, early man didn't learn that they can cook their food. Okay, because fire is not discovered till now. Okay, that's why they eat raw meat of wild animals. Okay, so here you can see early man is doing a hunter and gatherer. Okay, now see, why do early man move from one place to another place? Because in search of their available edible fruits. Okay, if they used to live in one place for longer duration of time, the fruits they used to eat will be uh, will be vanished. Okay, now for the hunting purpose, in search of water. Okay, they used to travel throughout the area. Okay, now community life of early men. What type of life early men used to live? Okay, see, you all know early men used to move in group. Means they not move as a single as an individual. They used to move in a group. Okay, in search of food and hunting purposes. Okay, as he was physically weak in comparison of fierce animals such as tigers, lions, and elephants. And why early men used to move in group? Because they are weak in comparison of huge wild animals like our tigers, elephants, and lions. Okay, so here, my dear student, till now what we learn in this chapter, the prehistoric age is also known as our Stone Age. Stone Age is divided into three parts: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Okay, Paleolithic age is also known as Old Stone Age. Okay, and during Paleolithic age, early man used to live nomad life. Okay, now making of stone tools. Okay, So in this age, early man learned that they can make their weapons with the help of stones. Okay, in the early stage, tools were crude and rough. See, the first weapon they made with the help of the stone. They are very rough. Okay, they are very rough in nature. Okay, they are made from stones, wood, horns, and bones. Okay, now the core tools which they used to use, they are made of chipping of pieces from hand-sized stones of a flint. Okay, means their core tools are made from a type of tools. Okay, flint chips. Okay, different forms. So the tools are having a different shape and size. Okay, and what type of shape core tools have? They have a pear shaped, means they have no handle. Okay, without any handle. Okay, they were used as an hand axes. Okay, so early man used core tools for the cutting of trees, digging the earth, and shaping sticks from wood. Here you can see the picture of core tool. Okay, this type of core tool is used at that time. Flake tools, the another type of tool they used to use, named as flake tools. Okay, and why they use flake tools? Because to cutting the meat. Okay, for eating purpose they used to cut meat. Okay, and they also used to tear the skin of the animal. That's why they use flake tools. Okay, Paleolithic art. In Paleolithic art, my dear student, early man used to draw some pictures. Okay, now see, when they are free, means when early mans are free, they used to draw rough sketches. Okay, like in caves. Okay, so the examples of Paleolithic art we can see in caves of Altamira in Spain. Okay, Altamira caves, located in Spain, Lascaux in France, and some parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, and Madhya Pradesh in Uttar Pradesh in India. Okay, so the art which is drawn by early man, we can see the example of this arts still today, like Altamira cave, which is located in Spain. Okay, Lascaux, which is presented in France, and in India we can find in some parts of our Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Okay. Now, discovery of fire. You all know, my dear student, early man discovered two major things which completely changed the entire humankind. Okay. First, the discovery of fire and invention of wheel. Okay. See, the discovery was probably accidental. So, my dear student, nobody knows through means at which medium or which mode early man discovered fire. Okay, so historians supposed. Okay, so historians take as a base that the discovery of fire was accidental. Okay, perhaps, and it is a theory. Okay, maybe one day a man rubbed two stone. Okay, it is a theory only. Okay, it is not based on any facts. Okay, so according to historians, maybe a man one day sat down and he started rubbing two stones with each other. Okay, and when he was continuously rubbing that stone, maybe a spark is produced, and due to that spark, accidentally fire is discovered. Okay, now what are the advantages early man used to take through the discovery of fire? Means with the fire they can get light and warmth. Okay, and fire scare wild animals. Now they can protect themselves from wild animals. Okay, and now they started cooking their food. Okay, means earlier they used to eat raw meat, now they can eat cooked meat. Okay, it was kept burning at the mouth of the cave at night while man slept in comfort. Okay, so my dear student, till now what we learned that in Paleolithic age, man started making stone tools. Okay, core tools, flake tool. Okay, early man also used to draw on the cave. Okay, and discovery of fire. Okay.